Well, good morning and welcome to this 2024 Honda CBR600RR. I've got this bike on loan from Honda Netherlands for 2 weeks. I'm 1 week into the loan now, and I basically just want to find out if it's possible to daily a 600cc Supersport, because as some of you might know, my history with motorcycles usually lies in the naked bike category or the adventure bike category, because I really like the practicality and the versatility they offer. And I just figured it would be interesting to see how this 600cc 4-cylinder Supersport would perform in a day-to-day task, like going on the highway, going on commutes, going into town. And especially considering the weather is as gloomy as it is right now, as you can see, winter is definitely coming. Yeah, I just figured it would be interesting to see how a 600cc Supersport really performs in a day-to-day basis. So let's hop on and I'll tell you all about it.
So what are some of the first things I noticed when I jumped on this bike? Well, first off, it actually sounds fantastic. I don't know how well the mic is going to transfer this onto the video, but when you do a cold start in the morning, it almost sounds like a freaking McLaren. It's so aggressive, it's got a really nice bark to it, and the exhaust noise is surprisingly loud, considering this is a 2024 model, Euro 5 and stuff like that. All of the other bikes I've tested, which are like Euro 5 plus, Euro 6, whatever we're up to right now, they're basically silent, but this thing sounds so good. And another nice thing is you have the rev air intake on the front, so even when you're on highway speeds where the exhaust note isn't that noticeable, you got like a lovely intake noise. So yeah, surprisingly, sounds really good. Secondly, this thing is actually pretty comfortable. I mean, it's not the most comfortable in the world, but considering the fact that this is a 600cc Supersport, the clip-ons aren't that low. The legroom is actually quite okay. I mean, I'm 6'1", 185 centimeters, and it's actually quite fine for me. So we're heading into town right now. Oh, my GoPro. My GoPro mount is a bit floppy this time. The bar ends on this thing, they are able to rotate, so whenever I go on like bumpy roads like this, the GoPro floops down. So sorry about that, but fortunately there's not many points to mount a camera on this bike. But yeah, the comfort is surprisingly good actually, and that also leads me on to the next point, where this bike is a lot more flexible than I expected it to be. So again, 600cc Supersport, you would expect this thing to be quite a pig, quite a pain around town. But no, it's not. It's actually quite pleasant. The throttle is really smooth, the engine is really flexible, so you can lug it around at like 1000 RPM, fourth gear, no problem. And I mean, you are leaned forward a little bit, so that's not ideal, but it's definitely not too bad. So yeah, especially considering the fact that we are testing the daily ability of a bike like this, yeah, I'm really surprised. I actually owned a Triumph Street Triple 765 RS a couple of years ago, and I feel like that was more of a pain to live with than this thing, except for the riding position, of course. This definitely doesn't feel as extreme or, I don't know, nervous. It's totally fine to just ride this bike normally in a normal pace, and it's still enjoyable because, like I said, it does sound good, it's decently comfortable, so you can just have a good time, you know, riding around town, commuting to work, stuff like that. So yeah, I know this CBRs, the 600s and the Fireblades, the 1000s, they always had the reputation of being the most streetable and the most pleasant to ride in a normal manner like this. And I can definitely see where people are coming from now, because even this 2024 model definitely does reflect that. This is a nice town called Apkoude, by the way. If you're ever in the Netherlands, come here, have a coffee over there. It's a pretty historic town. nice old church and typical old Dutch buildings, good coffee places, and it's not touristy or anything, you know. This is just like a typical old Dutch village, Dutch town. So yeah, Apkoude, if you're ever in Holland, definitely try and visit here. It's not too far from Amsterdam. I don't know how far it is by transit, but on a motorcycle it's like 20 minutes from the edge of Amsterdam. So yeah, it's nice. Here you've got the fish guy, typical Dutch fish guys, on like the markets and the town squares. You can get kibbeling, which is like fried fish. I don't know if I guess it's like fish and chips, but without the chips. It's like a typical Dutch market food. It's not, I mean, it's nice. It's fried fish, so don't expect too much. And another advantage of this bike is it's winter now, so it's getting a bit colder. And under a seat exhaust, it's got a nice heated seat function going on. I'm not sure how nice it will be in summer, but right now that it's like 7 degrees outside, it's nice to have your butt warmed. The guy was looking. I had to give it the beans. He was Marin. This bike definitely got some attention. I mean, it's in the Repsol colors. It's in the bright red with the blue stripes. So of course it's gonna get a lot of attention. But people still really like sports bike, I've noticed. I mean, when I get the new MT-09, I mean, it's a nice bike, but not a lot of people comment on it. But I've had many people just like giving me thumbs up, and motorcyclists being like, oh damn, that's a cool bike. I didn't know they still made the CBR. So, I mean, not a reason specifically to buy a bike, but it's, yeah, definitely adds to the feeling that you're riding something special. So we're gonna hit one of my favorite roads now. It's a bit twisty. We've done the town stuff. Time to stretch the legs a little bit, have some fun. Right, so we're at a twist a bit, something this bike is a little bit more suited to. Let's put it in the sport mode, so not track but sport, which is mode 2. And this quick shift is so amazing. A few weeks ago, some of you probably know, I had the new MT-09, and I know that everyone raved about that quick shifter because you could use it on the upshift with the throttle closed and on the downshift with the throttle open. I don't know, I thought it was fine, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking, or I don't know, I just didn't find it particularly smooth or amazing. But this thing is really smooth on the upshifts and the downshifts, and it also makes a really nice sound. So you got like this little flutter when you do the downshift. And it also adds to the enjoyment when you're just riding this bike around town, regular speeds, being able to use the quick shifter, it making funny noises. Plop. Yeah, freaking cool, man. I mean, am I using this bike to its fullest potential? Absolutely not. This is the same road I rode the ZX4RR on, and on that bike you can definitely extract like 80% of its straight line performance at least. And on this thing you're of course quite a bit more limited to what you can use, but it's still a lot of fun. Like, you don't have to scream it out all the way to 15,000 RPMs to enjoy it. Like this. Just open it a little, make sure the cyclists don't get upset. Oh, and that induction noise, it's amazing. Again, I'm not a big sports bike guy, but this is so much better than I expected. I fully expected to go ride this bike and it'd be a lot more aggressive than I like, and not that enjoyable. But it's so much better than I expected. So much more fun, so much more usable. And even on a fairly cold 9 degrees Celsius, grey day with cow poop on the roads, it's still a lot of fun. Ah, the favorite part of my road is closed. Oh well, they actually destroyed the bridge, so no shortcuts for me. So yeah, it's got a really nice blend of livability, being able to go around town. Well, I could go on there. Oh no, I'm not gonna do it. It's got a really nice blend of livability. It's fairly comfortable. The engine is a lot more flexible than you might expect. It's enjoyable to ride around town. It makes you feel special because some people look at you, they give you the thumbs up. I mean, it's bright red. But on the other hand, you also still have the performance, the capability on a twisty road. And I can only imagine what this thing would be like on track. So yeah, all around, a week into this 2-week loan, I'm very impressed. So now, let me have some more fun on these twisty roads. And then I'll pull over, let's talk about the looks a little bit. Because, let's be honest, that's also probably a big reason why you're looking at buying a sports bike.
So yeah, just quickly wanted to pull over and talk about the way this thing looks, because I think it actually looks really amazing. You got the nice little winglets over here, which are really well done, not too gaudy, just looking really nice and sleek. You got the CBR600RR, the Fireblade inspired front headlights with the daytime running lights. You got the Ram air intake over there. It's in the right color scheme, of course, the HRC, the classic red, white and blue. And I just think it looks fantastic. The only thing I will say that it's kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say bothered me, but I have noticed that the rear half of the bike feels like a classic CBR600R, like the 2014 model. And then the front of it is really modern, like I mentioned before, like the modern Fireblade. So it just feels like, I don't know, the rear half of the bike doesn't quite suit the front half. But yeah, as I said, overall, I think this thing looks absolutely amazing. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think of the looks. Do you like this? Do you prefer Kawasaki ZX6? Do you prefer the R6? Now let's hop on, talk about some of the downsides, and then I'll give you my conclusion.
We're losing light, it's getting dark, so I better wrap this thing up quick. So some of the downsides I've noticed about the CBR600RR. First off, it's desperately crying out for some tank grips. So as you can see over here, you do have quite a nice and large area for your knees to grab onto. And you definitely need those because you are leaned forward a little bit riding position wise. But the tank is quite slippery, so that doesn't really give you the greatest support for your knees to grip onto and keep the weight off of your wrists. And I just think a set of tank grips would really help with the comfort of the overall package. Let's see here. So yeah, tank grips, not a major gripe, something easy to fix, but I have been slipping and sliding around, especially because it's getting cold now, wearing textile pants and everything being a bit wet. It would be nice. Look at this building, by the way, this is insane. Under construction right now. It's pretty much a castle. Pretty sick, right? Let's see other things. Fuel economy isn't great. So as you can see on here, probably it's averaging 7 liters per 100 kilometers. I think it calculates to about 14 kilometers per liter or something, which for a motorcycle definitely isn't that great. It's pretty much the same as my car. So yeah, if you are going to be using this thing as a commuter tool, as your daily bike, you're not going to be saving a ton of money on fuel, that's for sure. Oh yeah, and the last thing I'll mention, especially now that we're going around these tight, twisty corners, the steering sweep is pretty bad. Something you would expect for a Supersport motorcycle, of course. It's not going to be an adventure bike where you can do a full 180 degree turn in like a 2 meter space. But yeah, I have noticed that on this bike especially, it's really limited. So sometimes you do find yourself having to do like a 5-point turn instead of a 3-point turn. Not the biggest deal, again, it's a Supersport, but again, especially if you're going to be riding this thing day in, day out around the city, I have noticed, yeah, it's just still a bit of a limiting factor. But to be honest, other than that, those are the only real, like, quote-unquote downsides I've found. And I don't know if that's going to change. I mean, I've ridden this bike for a week now, done all sorts of riding through town, on the highway, twisty roads, and there's not a lot of things to criticize. I mean, I guess that's something you could expect because Honda have been making the 600R for a very long time now. I mean, I think the lineage starts in like the end of the 1980s with the 600F models. So yeah, they've had a lot of time to refine the formula. And that brings me on to another great point about this bike is the price. I mean, in my head, 600cc Supersports are always really expensive because they're performance models, they have all the best components and stuff. But this bike actually costs less than a new MT-09 SP. And this is just crazy to me. It's just a track ready. It's got all the nice components, you know, adjustable suspension, good brakes, and I know the MT-09 SP has that as well, and it's got more torque and blah blah blah. But to me, Supersports have always been at least 3,000 euros more expensive than like an MT-09 in my head. I'm usually thinking around like the 16 grand mark. And this thing is like 13,500 euros brand new from the showroom. And I just think that's really good value. Especially if you're looking for maybe a truck tour or something that you know is going to be really reliable. Like I said, this motor and this lineage has proven itself over the past few decades. So yeah, I just think I wouldn't say bargain because 13,500 euros is of course still a lot of money and yada yada yada. I know, can't afford this bike either. But I mean, for the money, I think you're getting a lot. You're getting your money's worth. So yeah, that being said, is it a good daily? Well, considering right now I'm riding in the rain, the sun sets around 5 p.m. We've got rush hour traffic ahead of us. And to be honest, I'm pretty happy. It's comfortable enough. The engine is really flexible. So yeah, it's just pretty livable. But on the other hand, the thing that surprised me the most is how much fun it is to ride in conditions like this. It's, like I mentioned before, I've ridden this in the city, on the highway, all the stuff this thing isn't really designed for. And it's done so well, but it also still put a smile on my face. Because of the nice sound, because of the good quick shifter, which also adds a bit of drama. The flexible, I mean, it's just an excellent all-round package. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there. I'm gonna head home now, have a nice warm shower, have some something nice to eat, and I'll catch you in the next one.